This is not an apple. It's a chayote squash.
But we're going to show you today how you can use a chayote squash as an apple stunt double. Hey, what's up, family? I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are Two Crazy Ketos.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome. Here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like product reviews and we do recipe videos. We talk about various keto topics, and then every Monday, we go live on Keto on the Couch. We just kind of talk about what's going on in our lives for the week.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way every single time we upload a new video, you'll be alerted to it.
So like we said, this is not an apple.
It is not an apple. It's a very funny looking gourd.
Yeah, it's not a pear. It's not an apple. It is a chayote squash. And we're going to use a chayote squash to make cinnamon apples.
Why wouldn't we just use a regular apple?
Because a Granny Smith apple is 28 total carbohydrates with 5 grams of fiber, making it 23 net carbs. And it's okay to take that fiber out.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah. This, same size, right? About 203 grams, 9 total carbohydrates, 3.5 grams of dietary fiber, again, which you can take out. And 5.5 net carbs. Why can you take out this fiber but not the fiber from a bar?
Because God made it.
Because God made it. So we're going to use this to make cinnamon apples. Why? Because when we used to go to Cracker Barrel, that was our jam. We don't go to Cracker Barrel for 2 reasons. Number 1, the biscuits.
Yes.
It's like my kryptonite.
Right.
And number 2 was the cinnamon apples. It was like the side we always got.
So I just kind of consoled myself that never again. But thanks to our subscriber, Rhonda.
Yes.
She gave us the idea and the inspiration to use this. She's like, you guys need to use the chayote squash as an apple. So thank you so much, Rhonda. I think she is so stinking right.
We actually interviewed her about a year ago. When we were at Keto Palooza. I'll leave a link for that right up here.
She's amazing.
And we actually bought some, and then we got busy. Then we did beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, and they rotted in the refrigerator.
Yep.
And then life got in the way, so we're finally making this video. And here's the thing. You're going to use this recipe for any kind of apple thing you want. So if you just want a cinnamon apple side dish, here you go. You do this and multiply it out. What we're going to show you how to do today is going to make 2 servings. 1 squash, 2 servings. But you could use this same exact recipe to make an apple pie. Yeah. Right? You can take our coconut flour pie crust.
It's so good.
Link for that down below. I personally think it's the best pie crust you're ever going to eat. Just my personal opinion, though. Make that, triple the recipe, and you will now have an apple pie. Maybe want to add in some more apple pie seasoning or something like that. Here's the thing, apple pie seasoning, kind of hard to find during the summertime. Cinnamon, it's kind of close. Just add in some nutmeg and stuff if you want to up the cinnamon apple pie flavor.
I am going to tell you, it can be a little bit hard to find.
Yeah.
So I've seen them at Aldi. We found this one at Whole Food, but like they don't always have them at every grocery store. So kind of prepare to
They're becoming more popular though.
Put some legwork in.
So let's go over what you're going to need. And again, today's recipe is for just cinnamon apple, serving of 2 or 1, up to you. But again, if you want to make it for apple pie or something like that, just double, triple the recipe. So we're going to use a chayote squash, some allulose, some lemon juice, some cinnamon, because we're making cinnamon apples, some cream of tartar, and then a couple of optional ingredients that are optional but not really optional. Okay, so all of that is going to give you cinnamon apple that you're going to think is cinnamon apple because it's cinnamon and the texture. If you want the apple flavor, you want to get some of this Loran green apple flavoring.
It's so good.
Any apple flavoring, but the green apple is really going to remind you of an apple pie. Or the OO apple Fiji, or again, any apple extract's going to work, but this stuff is really good. I'll leave a link for it down below. I buy it on Amazon.
It's actually apple Fuji, because Fuji apple.
Okay, some xanthan gum if you want a thick sauce when you're eating your apples.
I'll do.
And then we're using allulose, and since allulose is only 70% as sweet as sugar, we always up the sweetness with a little bit of liquid sucralose or liquid stevia. If you are using erythritol, you're going to use the same amount of sweetener that we use, but you don't need to add in the stevia, unless of course you want to up the sweetness even more. But since we're using allulose, we up the sweetness a little bit with some stevia. So we're going to put all this away, and we're going to show you how to make this. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring over our hot plate, which has already been warming up, and we are going to put a pot on here. And by the way, this is a really easy recipe to make.
How easy is it?
It is so easy, even Rachel can make it.
Wow, I'm about to make a pie filling.
Okay, so we did forget to name one ingredient.
Oh.
Butter.
Butter
you need some butter.
Everything better.
So we're gonna put, you wanna get this, you don't wanna burn the butter, okay? Brown butter actually wouldn't be bad here, but I don't want a brown butter. So I'm gonna put the heat on medium, and you're gonna put 2 tablespoons of butter into the pot. And then you're gonna take your chayote squash and you're gonna peel it. Now I found the easiest way to peel this is with a potato peeler, okay? Don't try to peel it with a knife because all the nooks and crannies on it, it's a pain. Just use a potato peeler, and then when you get to that one part, you're gonna slice it in the middle. There is like one little seed section in the middle, which technically is edible, but it doesn't taste that good. So I just kind of cut it out like you would cut out the piece of an apple.
Were you surprised, or not you, but was the potato peeler surprised to be in use again?
Yeah, oh yeah. So what I've done is I peeled it and then I cut it up into slices. And so we're just gonna put that in there. Now into that, I've got about 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of allulose. Now you can add a little more if you want. Teaspoon of lemon juice, a 1/2 teaspoon of cream of tartar, and then you're going to go 1 to 2 teaspoons. I'm using the Loran oil, and it's all in how much of an apple flavor do you want to it. And I know you're going to look at this recipe and be like, hey, you're going like 1 to 2 teaspoons. How much do I want? It's all about flavor here. So you can start off small and add more. Remember, it's always easier to add. You can't take away. So we've got 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, but I've gone as high as 2, but I love cinnamon. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of stir this all together. Now, once we get all of these mixed together, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put the lid on, and then we're going to put it off to the side and let them soften for about 10 minutes. Okay, so we've got that going, and we're gonna just put this off to the side, and we'll come back in about 10 minutes. Okay, so we've had the apples going for about 10 minutes. One thing I meant to mention before, if you notice that there's not a lot of liquid in there, feel free to add up to about 1/4 cup of water. But what happens is if you have the heat up too high, sometimes it'll escape, but you do wanna have a little bit of liquid in there to help cook the apples. So you can see how we've got this going now.
Looks so good.
It smells just like apple pie.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do is we're going to add in about 1/8 teaspoon of xanthan gum, and then go ahead and give it a good mix. And we're going to actually turn off the heat, and that'll actually thicken up the sauce. Now, once you have that sauce thickened, which will only take a minute or 2, and the longer it sits, the more it'll thicken up, you're done. You've got warm cinnamon apples that you can eat.
I'm happy right there.
Use this just as like a nice little thing to go, for a party, go with your dinner, or you can use it for an apple pie or for our apple pie stuffler. Okay, so the sauce is nice and thick now, and you can see, look at that. It looks just like what you would get if you were going to Cracker Barrel and eating those cinnamon apples. Now these are going to be really hot, but they're still going to be delicious. So
I was going to say blow on those.
Here you go.
It is amazing. It fools your brain. Your brain is like, I am chewing apples and I am tasting apples.
Between the sweetness and the cinnamon, the texture of the chayote squash, and then adding in that little bit of apple pie flavoring.
Yeah.
You think they're apples.
It's crazy.
You think they're apples. Now, one thing I do want to say that our friend Rhonda told us was if you can't find, or maybe don't have, or just don't want to spend the extra money and buy the apple, concentrate flavorings, You can even use like an apple Mio, like a squirt of any of those apple like drink concentrates. They're gonna give you the same thing, and they'll give you a little bit more sweetness as well.
Right.
So, let us know down in the comments section if you make this. Also, let us know, what do you plan on using it for? Are you gonna use it just to eat some cinnamon apples? Or are you gonna use it to make a dessert like an apple pie or maybe a turnover or something like that? And again, we also have a recipe for how to make an apple pie stuffler with that. I will leave a link right up here. If you like seeing videos like this, take a look at some of the videos that we have linked right over here. Also, make sure you take a look at the most recent video that I'm gonna put right over there.
But whether you head this way or you head this way, don't forget to head this way. Subscribe to our channel and click the little bell icon, and that way every single time we upload a new video, you'll be alerted to it.
Until next time.
Bye.